I'm Mike Mason, Mayor of the City of Peachtree Corners. I'm proud to be here today. It's an important day. The history of Peachtree Corners goes back to Paul Duke. He was the guy that founded, he founded in 1968, but it was really the 70s and 80s that he developed this area. He named the community Peachtree Corners, and he developed the office park that is Tech Park Atlanta, that all the jobs and then all the people that worked here. He found developers to build the houses. He built and developed this community. And it was, at that time, the Silicon Valley of the metro Atlanta area. It was the original high-tech hotspot. Over time, things age out. Paul Duke, we lost him to Alzheimer's. In fact, but when we became a city in 2012, one of the first things we wanted to do was revitalize Tech Park because it is the engine of growth that drives all of this. And so we hired a consulting firm, as cities often do, to tell us, what would you do to create that sense of innovation? And they said, you need to find an idea, something to catalyze the innovation, and they called it an innovation hub. And as we brainstormed it and took their suggestions, one of our councilmen, a young man named Alex Wright, said, what about an autonomous vehicle track? Because that had been something someone talked about or mentioned, and he was quite intrigued with it. And then we looked into it, we validated the idea, and then the council, and I'm blessed as a mayor with a great council because we always work toward consensus. We all got behind it, and our council had the courage to fund it after it was validated, and then we went from there. And so I'd like to believe Paul Duke would be proud of us for in some way creating that spark of creativity to revitalize Tech Park. And that is going to become, it is the jobs engine for all of the city of Peachtree Corners. When I think of the success of Curiosity Lab, I think about it a little differently than a lot of people do. If you were to talk to the guy from Sprint, he'd say, oh, gee, it's a way to demonstrate 5G, which is wonderful. It's 20 times faster than 4G. And if you talk to Georgia Power, they'd say, wow, it's an opportunity to have more electricity. From the city's point of view, the most important thing about Curiosity Lab, other than within the context of revitalizing, it's an economic development platform for revitalizing Tech Park. The most important thing is the relationships. What we're demonstrating is that concept of public-private partnerships, that cities can work with companies and find a mutual ground for working together. For example, this is enabled entirely by Sprint's 5G, but without the OLLI, without the cars, the autonomous vehicles, you need that platform. So pulling together that team and everybody having something that they want and working together. As I've said many times before, the council had a vision of this is what we'd like to do. But then how do you validate the vision? Well, you go to your partners and you ask them, well, how do you see this? And then you listen to what they say, take their input, and you change your vision until everybody's happy. You build consensus there. So we built consensus with the council, we built consensus with our partners, and we go forward together. And that's the strongest way to do it. Well, from our point of view, it's only about economic development. It isn't that we really love autonomous vehicles. It's the most important, we believe, thing that's going on today, and it's the Internet of Things. It's the intelligent mobility aspects of it. But if it comes down to dollars and cents, which is what we're talking about here, what if one group comes in and says, you know what, I'd like to test on your track, but only for a day? Well, we don't charge anything for that. They don't take space in our incubator and pay us a monthly rate. They're just here for a day. But they had to eat lunch at one of our restaurants. What if they come back next time and they test and they're here for a week? They're going to stay in one of our hotels. They're going to eat lunch here. And then someone says, I like this community. Why don't we open an office here? So that means someone rents space in Tech Park, in the office park, and then they say, you know what, I'm going to move my wife and family here. That's how you build community through economic development, and that's the best way to do it from our point of view. So that's, to me, the way to look at it from the city's point of view.